Okay, so I had somebody message me a question through Facebook on what I would recommend as a woman we should be wearing on insurance appointments. And I thought it was such great timing because I'm wearing an outfit that I would actually never recommend that somebody wear on an insurance appointment. So, as an example, like obviously, I'm wearing a rather low cut outfit today. And actually, I'm wearing a dress, and there's nothing wrong with wearing dresses. But the problem with what I'm wearing is actually the cut today. It's very low cut. And you got to think about it that when you're out and working with clients, you're going to be probably like writing stuff down and leaning over and showing it to them. And you don't want to put them in a position where they're uncomfortable or you're uncomfortable and you're like trying to cover yourself up or something like that. So bear that in mind. If you're wanting to wear something like this, put like a scarf around it or something like that, but keep your comfort and the comfort of whoever you're dealing with, keep their comfort in mind as well. So specifically, what they were asking about was in the summertime when it gets hot, because normally if you're going from house to house on appointments, good rule of thumb, easy thing to do is to wear a polo shirt. The problem becomes in the summertime, many of those polo shirts are made out of materials that kind of make you sweat and make it twice as hot. And in particular, if you're maybe getting older and you're feeling hotter all the time, that's not going to be a good solution because you need to be comfortable. So this is where I really recommend getting button-down shirts. Nice, comfortable button-down shirts. Some of them have like sleeve like this. I even think that having sleeveless, something that maybe has a little bit of a collar to it. I used to go and buy the entire line, every single color from New York & Co. I don't know if they still have them. Is there still New York & Co? They're not around here anyway. But you get the point. Just a very simple, I liked it where it wasn't a men's cut. They're specifically designed for women to fit our how we're built. And another option would be, I know Old Navy has V-neck shirts that if you just go get an entire line of V-neck shirts and maybe wear a light sweater with it, that would look very nice and that could work for dealing with people who maybe have air conditioning turned up really high. And so you're going to end up being colder, but it will still, it's a solid color. So it's kind of hard to go wrong with that. But a lot of the polo shirts that we get from the insurance carriers, though it's very, very nice that they give them to us, a lot of times they're on the cheaper side, less expensive, and oftentimes they are cut for men and not for women. So if you want to be more comfortable, you're going to need to invest in some clothes for yourself. When you're meeting with people, it's important to dress a little bit above wherever they're at. So it depends on if you're meeting them at home, they're going to be comfortable and in their house. So you don't necessarily want to be showing up in a full like pantsuit or anything like that. That might be a little awkward, especially if you're doing final expense or basic Medicare or something like that. So dress a little bit above. I often get asked if jeans are okay. Jeans are okay in many instances, unless they make you feel really uncomfortable. But you've got to keep their comfort in mind. And if you're showing up dressed to the nines, and they're just wanting some basic insurance coverage, that might make them feel a little uncomfortable as well. Whereas if you're going to be doing full retirement planning or something and handling lots of money for them, you might want to consider dressing it up a little bit. For comfort, especially lower half, thinking shoes and things like that, it really depends on where you live. I live in Florida. I have no problem wearing nice flip-flops. I actually call them work flip-flops. I have work flip-flops and I have day off flip-flops. And so people won't really think a whole lot if you wear flip-flops to an appointment. Whereas in other parts of the country, if you show up in flip-flops, they might think you're a little bit rude. But especially if you are in the habit of taking off your shoes when you get into people's houses, you want to take into account how easy it is to get your footwear on and off your feet. And having some really strappy sandals that you're going to have to be unbuckling and things like that, that's not going to, work too well. But on the other side of it, being in Florida, not everything's like the city. We have a lot of very rural areas. And if I were working an hour north of here where it's very, very rural and there are going to be a lot of gravel driveways, I used to, when I worked that area, I have some easy slip on like ankle type boots that I would wear that made it really easy to deal with whatever the road conditions would be, because maybe it might be a little bit muddy, might be dusty or gravel, and I need to be able to navigate that and not be like, oh, well, I can't do this appointment because I don't have the right footwear. But I always liked, for things like that, I wore jeans. I had some skirts that I would wear, but I always wanted to wear something that wasn't dry clean only, because you might be getting to people's houses and they might be smokers or something that you're going to feel like, oh my goodness, I've got to change my clothes, or I can't wear this to my next appointment. Whatever you wear, if you're going from house to house to house to house, such as final expense, mortgage protection, Medicare, something like that, I highly recommend having a change of clothes in the car, either because you got too hot and you need to change into maybe some nice shorts or a skirt. Hey, maybe there's a reason Jake from State Farm wears khakis. They're comfortable and they're versatile. So I have some khaki skirts that I would wear on appointments when I was more in city areas and not working rural areas. When I was working rural areas, I wore jeans to every single appointment and full pants jeans to every single appointment. Because that just was what made sense when I was going to be going to horse farms, ranches, and hey, I even have a client that has a pot farm. Anyway, so I hope that helps and answers the question. Down below is a link. These are women-specific questions. A lot more women are very concerned with what they're going to wear. They're not sure what to wear. We want to look great when we go on our appointments, but we also want to be comfortable. We want to wear things that are appropriate. If you are needing that kind of mentorship and support, I have a free Facebook group for life-producing women. So if you're selling life insurance products, you're going to want to join this group, and I'll see you in there. Look for the link in the comments.